From the lineup with Kelsey Plum, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Ryan Howard, and Angel Reese, and how did that group impact the flow of the game?
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. You know, this is a group that hasn't been together very long. We've kind of mixed the matchups, mixed the rotations. We played our players a little bit longer stretches than what we had done in the first two games. And so I thought initially they got off to a good start. I probably played them a little bit too long of a stretch at you know, some of them got a little bit tired. But yeah, I love the creativity. I love the shooting with that.
What if I told you a player just dropped record-breaking numbers and got benched right after? Yeah, that actually happened. Welcome to WNBA Vibe, where the drama hits just as hard as the highlights. Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court after 239 days off and went absolutely nuclear. 17 points, 12 assists, and 5 world records in just 19 minutes. That's not clutch, that's straight up savage. But instead of riding the hot hand, the coaching staff started limiting her minutes, talking about team unity while fans were left confused and heated. And then things got even crazier. Kara Lawson wasn't just making questionable calls, she was suddenly gone. No warning. No explanation. Heading into Team USA's matchup against New Zealand, Nate Tibbitz stepped in, and his very first move? He put Clark right into the starting five. Yeah, the energy shifted instantly. But what happened next? You got to see this.
Welcome to the second half of the post-game press conference between USA and New Zealand. USA won 101-46. Joining us now is head coach Nathan Tibbitz and Ryan Howard, two-time TCL player of the game. We'll start with you, Coach Nate. Just your initial thoughts coming out after the game.
That was a straight-up statement, wasn't it? A 55-point blowout. And then Nate Tibbitz goes live on camera and basically says the way Caitlin Clark was handled before. Yeah. That was a mistake. That's not just bold, that's locker room shaking type of honesty. Now suddenly, this isn't just about one game. This is about who should be leading Team USA when everything's on the line. So let's rewind, because the deeper you go into this story, the crazier it gets. And real talk, if you've been locked into this tournament, you already know this question is heating up. Should Tibbitz be the permanent head coach heading into Berlin? Because after what just went down, that decision might define the entire run. Now back to that night, because this is where things turned legendary. Clark hadn't touched competitive basketball in 239 days. 8 months out. Rust, pressure, expectations, none of it mattered. She stepped onto that court in San Juan and went full takeover mode. We're talking 5 world records in a single game. Not across a career, not spread out over seasons, one game. That's different. That's generational. 17 points, 12 dimes, controlling the entire pace like a seasoned vet. Her assist numbers, almost touching an all-time record that other players needed years to chase. And she did it in a format she had never even played before. That's not normal. That's elite basketball IQ mixed with straight killer instinct. And the scoreboard. Total domination. Team USA didn't just win. They embarrassed the opposition, 110-46. A 64-point beatdown. And at the center of it all was Clark, orchestrating everything, making plays look effortless, turning every possession into a highlight. But here's where it gets wild. After a performance like that, everything should have been locked in, right? Momentum, confidence, system, all of it. But what happened next flipped the entire narrative upside down. Watch this.
Puerto Rico played very, very hard, and they played hard the entire time. They challenged us with their effort. And I thought they made a lot of hustle plays to create baskets for themselves. And, you know, this was more of an uneven game for us on both ends. We talked about it as a team, and I thought we had some good spots, but I also thought we had some rough spots, and that's good. It's good to have rough spots sometimes. You're able to kind of figure some things out, and we're still figuring things.
Man, that clip right there, that's where everything started to feel off, didn't it? You've got Caitlin Clark dropping a historic debut, and instead of building around that momentum, they hit the brakes. Not because she was struggling, but because of a philosophy. Kara Lawson kept talking about team unity, making sure everyone eats. But this isn't pickup ball, this is a World Cup qualifier. You don't downplay your most dangerous weapon when the stakes are this high. That's just not how championship teams operate. And it wasn't just one decision, it was a pattern. Clark getting pushed off ball, rotations slowing everything down, the offense losing that fast, lethal rhythm. You could literally see it. The pace dropped, the ball stopped moving, and suddenly Team USA went from looking elite to looking confused. No identity, no flow, just talented players trying to figure it out on the fly. And the wild part, Clark stayed silent through all of it. No drama, no complaints, just letting her game, and the numbers, do the talking. But then things took a straight-up plot twist. Lawson wasn't even on the sideline for the New Zealand game. Gone. Just like that. Official reasons aside, the timing couldn't have been crazier. Because now, the same system that held Clark back was about to get tested, instantly. Enter Nate Tibbitz. No speeches. No overthinking. First move. Put Clark in the starting lineup. Simple, but deadly effective. And boom, 55-point destruction. The offense came alive again. Fast breaks, clean ball movement, players finally in rhythm. It looked like a completely different team overnight. And then Tibbitz did something coaches almost never do. He kept it real. Straight up said not starting Clark earlier was a mistake. No PR spin, no dodging, just truth. And just like that, every narrative started collapsing. She can't defend. She's picking passing lanes and turning defense into buckets. She's one-dimensional. The numbers say otherwise. So now the question isn't if Clark is the centerpiece, it's why it took so long for everyone to admit it. And trust me, what comes next might completely shut down every last doubt. And that right there, that's the final nail in the coffin of every single doubt. You just saw it. This wasn't hype. This was domination. Caitlin Clark didn't just lead Team USA. She controlled the entire tournament. Scoring inside the arc, attacking the paint, pulling up mid-range. This wasn't some one-dimensional shooter narrative. This was a complete offensive takeover. Efficient, surgical, and straight-up unstoppable. And let's talk numbers, because they hit different. She led the entire squad in efficiency, meaning every possession ran better through her. Led in assists, so she's not just getting buckets, she's elevating everyone around her. And then that plus-minus. Not just Team USA, the entire tournament. Every country, every roster. She was the most impactful player on the floor. That's not opinion. That's cold, hard data. All of this, after 8 months out, dealing with injury recovery, even battling illness during the tournament. And still, MVP. Youngest ever. That's legendary behavior. But here's where it gets scary for the rest of the world, the chemistry. When Clark shared the floor with Paige Buchers, it was game over. Pace, spacing, decision-making, it all clicked instantly. Clark pushing tempo, reading defenses like a quarterback. Buchers cutting, finishing, capitalizing. Pick your poison, because there is no good answer defensively. That duo, that's a problem the entire world is gonna have to deal with. And credit where it's due, Nate Tibbitz simplified everything. No overthinking, no forcing bad combinations. He adjusted, made the obvious calls, and boom, the system worked. Clean offense, better rhythm, players in their natural roles. That's coaching. So now we're here. Team USA goes 5-0. Clark walks away with the MVP. And the biggest question in women's basketball isn't about talent anymore. It's about leadership. Does Kara Lawson come back and adjust? Or does Tibbitz take over after proving what works? And heading into Berlin, this isn't just another tournament. This is about to be one of the most hyped World Cups we've ever seen. Because now we know exactly what this team looks like when it's fully unlocked. So if you've been watching this unfold, I need to hear from you. Does Tibbitz deserve the permanent job? And are you ready to see Clark and Buchers unleashed on the world stage? Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in with WNBA Vibe. Because if you blink, you might miss the next historic moment.